Hi, today we're going to be talking all about what you need to know before you decide to offer author services for other authors. So I've seen this quite a bit with self-published authors like myself who've been doing this for a while. They want to open up shop to help authors as well, but there's a lot to consider. So before you do anything, definitely take a look at this video so you can learn some of the basics before you jump in head first. Stay tuned. Hi, I'm MK Williams. I'm an author and independent publisher. I love sharing all my knowledge on self-publishing with you. Before I get into the details of today's topic, don't forget to subscribe. You'll get notified every week when I release new videos about self-publishing and making a career out of being an author. As an author entrepreneur, I never originally envisioned that I would offer author services to other authors. My original dream was to write amazing books and I would make enough with the royalties just to live off of. That's still the dream, and my royalties are a percentage of my business, but the total business revenue comes from multiple sources. I stumbled into offering author services because people kept asking me for advice, and someone finally asked me what I would charge. So to start, I was happy to keep helping people and answer questions, but once they asked me to do work for them and spend hours of my time on it that would take me away from my writing, I was glad they offered to compensate me because, time is money, and I wasn't going to be able to use that time writing my books. They also asked me to do work that one, I could do, and two, that I wanted to do. Those are two very important factors. So if you're thinking about offering services to other authors, here's what you need to know before you get started. So number one, you need to know all the services and options that are out there and what services are currently being offered to other authors. Author services can include editing, cover design, formatting, book marketing, such as lining up author interviews, blog tours, bookstagram tours, and coaching. So if you have an idea for an author service and nobody out there is offering it, maybe that's time to do a survey, see if there's any interest in that, if there's maybe another term for it. So for a while, I was saying what I was doing was being the ghost publisher, independent publisher behind the scenes. So you can have a ghostwriter to write your book, and I'm the ghost publisher to help you self-publish your book. So you're still self-publishing it. And that was a mouthful. So now I just say I do self-publishing coaching because it still describes what I do. For some people who aren't involved in self-publishing, I say I project manage books for self-published authors, which is also the same thing. So I'm trying to really refine the words myself as I see what more people are doing and how they're defining it, and making it more clear to people what it is that I do. So that goes along with number two, which is doing your research on the services that you want to offer. If you want to do book cover design, you need to look at what other services are out there that do book cover design. What do they charge? What do they offer? Should you offer those packages too, or something similar? Can you even offer everything that's in those packages? Should you charge the same, or maybe you charge a bit less to be competitive? Do you have more experience and maybe you can offer more and therefore can charge more? What are the reviews these services are getting so you know what people like? Good communication, easy to work with, quick turnaround, and what they don't like, a service ghosting on them, not getting the working files, surprise upcharges. So you want to really understand who, not necessarily the competition is, like there's more than enough work to go around for everybody, but really understand what are the different models that work for people. Over time, I've updated my business model just to realize, oh, people like it when there's very set packages they can purchase instead of this amorphous, like, I'll do a custom coaching plan for you, which I think people would like, but then it's kind of this like, well, I don't know what I'm getting and I want to know up front what things could be. So it's definitely good to look at what other people are doing because chances are if enough people are doing it, they've realized that that's what people want to see. The third thing is get in the practice of asking for payment and down payment. So I'm going to talk about some payments again later, but you really want to get into the practice of asking, making the ask. You should be asking for a down payment on your services, absolutely. So this splits the responsibility, right? So the author trusts you to finish the job, and you trust them to send the final payment on delivery. Also, selling can be really hard if you're not naturally good at it, so you definitely want to be asking and practicing making the ask. It's really tough, but you got to do it. Otherwise, it's never going to happen. All right. The fourth thing to keep in mind is that you only want to offer what you actually want to do. If you hate formatting, do not list formatting as something that you would offer, even if you think you can make more money doing it. If you enjoy copy editing, offer copy editing. As a coach, I've had clients ask me if I would be their developmental editor as well, and I don't want to do that. Granted, developmental editors can make a lot more than copy editors and even coaches, but I don't have the experience to feel like I could do that well, and so I say no. I've designed some of my own covers, but I certainly don't feel like I could offer that as a service to potential clients because I'm not that good. So the services that I do offer in terms of project management and coaching and print book formatting are things that I know I want to offer, that I feel confident that I can do. And because I feel confident I can do it, that shows through in how I market my services. And it also means that the client's going to be happier at the end of the day. Don't just say yes to do something when you feel like, this isn't really my wheelhouse. Like if they're unhappy at the end of that experience, it's just going to be negative for both of you. All right, the fifth thing to keep in mind, and this is along the same lines, but be sure that your work is in line with your mission as a creative entrepreneur. So I know for me that I want to be the help for authors that I didn't have when I got started, right? That is my guiding principle. And even if I'm talking with a prospective client, if someone says they just want to hack KDP to make money, they're not the client for me. And that makes it a lot easier for me to say no. And it's really tough when you're starting out to think that you could have clients that you would say no to, That initial thought for somebody who's starting a business is like, I need to take all the clients I can get. I need to make money. But really, like, you want to have a clear reasoning to taking on that project beyond just the potential income. Otherwise, your heart isn't going to be in it and it's going to show through. You're giving up your writing time to do this work. It better be worth it. Okay, so the sixth one flows into this as well, and that's to know your ideal clients and to be selective. So as authors, we know we should be critical of anyone we want to hire to help with our book. We should ask questions, we should get comfortable with them and their offerings before handing over any money, right? The same applies for you as somebody who's offering author services when you're looking at a client. Have a conversation with this prospective client. You want to work with people who have a clear vision, or at least I do. I don't want to work with an author who doesn't know what they want or is wishy-washy. That means they're just going to use more and more of my time as they change their mind, which will leave both of us frustrated. That's not good for anybody. If someone starts out asking me to lower my prices, I also don't want to work with them. My prices are already super competitive. I've talked about this in my Scaling Back My Goals video, where I've already made a commitment to not charge what my time should be demanded at because I know what the margins are. So if somebody already wants me to cut my prices and they start out trying to have me pay less, like they clearly don't see the value that I can offer. I don't want to work with someone who comes to me and tells me that they've already done all the research. They already know what they need to know, or they otherwise kind of seem like a know-it-all. Well, if you're asking me for help, you clearly don't know it all. And if they do know it all, good. Like, have fun on your own. You don't need me. I also don't like working with people who have shiny object syndrome and who are going to pivot 10 times mid-project. That kind of goes back to wishy-washy, but you don't want to work with someone who starts out saying that the last 3 editors that they worked with were horrible and stupid. Sounds like maybe they have unrealistic expectations. So again, these are things I figured out over time with getting to work with good clients and not so good clients. And it's just something you have to figure out for yourself. With all the things that I just listed, you might think, oh gosh, yeah, those people are out there. You might think it's impossible to find good clients. It's not. There are a lot of great clients out there, and I have worked with some amazing clients who have continued to just be a great support business-wise, who continue to ask me how I'm doing, and we continue to catch up. So you can develop really great relationships with these clients and these authors that you work with, but it takes time, and you'll get a feel for how to spot potential troublemakers early on in your vetting process. It just takes time to do that. So give yourself some patience. Understand there's going to be some comical things that will come up with your business. Okay, and then the final thing that I want to say is that you can make money with your services. You have an expertise in something and your time is valuable. You need to know your worth, but as an author yourself, you know the margins, right? Be sure to be realistic about who you're marketing to. If they are first-time authors, they may not have thousands of dollars to spend on your design. An author who's done this a few times and has royalties to reinvest may have that. So be ethical. Don't put another author in a bad spot. It's a small community. And even if your work is amazing and it's the best design ever, if you charge too much and that author will never earn it back, they're going to go somewhere else for their next project, if they even have a next project. So you don't want to put somebody in a bad spot, because repeat customers are very good. So ideally, you're setting yourself up for success and repeated success where people want to continue to work with you. So those are just some things to keep in mind as you're looking to do author services. I'm really curious to know, for those of you watching, what are the services that you offer? Maybe this is something that I don't offer and we can work together. And I always like to have good referral partners to help with my clients. If you found this information helpful, please give it a thumbs up and drop a comment below. I always love hearing from you guys. It really makes my day. If you haven't already, please be sure to subscribe. That lets YouTube know that you're getting value from the information I'm putting out, and it helps them to know to put it in front of other authors like us. Now you can go back to writing your book.